And welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Kathy.
And we're all back after a short break. And we're on episode 195? Yeah, 195. And so this week we're going to be talking about competition pieces. Since Kathy is back, I've been dying to ask her some questions about this model I have and this plinth, and I've been waiting to show her. So since she's back, I'm going to talk about competition pieces and this piece I'm going to be working on to put in competition shows coming up, hopefully at HugCon 2022, and also maybe possibly Warfare Weekend, because I'm allowed to put in a model there just so I can get feedback from people, not win prizes or anything, just so I can get feedback from judges. And the model is actually really cool, so we'll be doing that. But before we do that, let's go ahead and talk about our sponsors. Mini Masterworks is now one of our sponsors. We want to thank them for being so awesome. He is working on getting us product and a discount code to get 10% off of everything in his store, I believe. Everything. But they're working on a few things. As everybody knows, shipping and all that right now is kind of a problem. So he is working on that. And then we also want to thank Muse on Minis for helping us host our channel, bringing it out to everybody so everybody can hear it on all the different platforms. And if you are listening to this, you can also watch it live on Twitch, or you can watch us watch us on YouTube, and we put it over there. So other than that, John, do we have any shout outs this week?
I think Kathy shared one with us.
She did. And what's interesting is someone else sent that to me too, but I have no clue who that person was.
Really?
I didn't know the name. I know what they've done. I just didn't know the name.
You hadn't? Okay. It's weird that you hadn't heard the name of Steven Sondheim, because I live in a rock sometimes, under a rock sometimes, and I heard his name multiple times.
When the person told me that Steven had passed away, I'm like, who? And then she was like, this, and this. I'm like, oh, okay. I get it. I know what you're talking about. I know what's going on. I just didn't know the name. I admit it. I'm not ashamed to do that. So other than that, he passed away. What was it, like 80, 70 something? I have no clue.
I didn't see the age.
But definitely that. And then there was some Formula One team thing. Person that passed away, but I had no clue who it was. Other than that,
there's a bunch of others, but not anyone. I hate to say big name, but not anyone maybe in the wider oeuvre that a lot of people should or would know.
Yeah. Other than that, let's get to the really important stuff, though. John, what are you drinking today?
Well, I am actually drinking an old classic. I'm drinking a screwdriver.
Whoa. Kathy, what you got?
Finishing off the Riesling.
The Riesling. I am doing a Mother's Winter Grind, which is a coffee stout, which I really, really like. Captain Busy, I'm not an uncultured swine. I just didn't know his name. Sorry. So before we get started, guys, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Go get your vaccine if you haven't gotten it. Make sure you still wear a mask. Make sure that you're washing your hands. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. We want to make sure that everybody is available. Because, Kathy, show us your shirt. We want to see you.
There you go.
At HUDCon 2022. And everything, so we can have a good time there. Because I'm so looking forward to that. Because I talked to one of the Adepticon people at Warfare Weekend and told them that I was like really, 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 really looking forward to it. So I really, really want to see that. Also, Kathy, do you have a link for that T-shirt, by the way?
John might have it handier than I do.
I do. Almost like I may have remembered to buy some very recently.
Get that link up there to get that T-shirt. We really want to see everybody there. We want to make sure everybody's healthy, happy.
And order the shirt now while it's on sale.
Yeah, and it is on sale.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I got the gigantic sweatshirt that's 3 sizes too big so that I can put other shirts underneath it because it's the winter and I'm cold.
Can't argue with that. My last sweatshirt was just about the right size. Can't really fit other shirts underneath it. And I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah. I like when I can put other shirts on underneath.
Yeah. Layers.
Yep.
Layers. So please take care of yourself. We want to see you at HuckCon 2022, aka Adepticon, and we want to hang out and have a good time. So from all of us to all of y'all, we appreciate you. We love you, and be safe. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I will give you birthday hugs, Captain Mizzy.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
Don't worry
isn't
about
it-
birthday hugs.
Isn't it Erica's birthday? Or was it yesterday? Happy birthday, Erica.
Yeah, Erica's was yesterday.
Ooh, Mini Masterworks has Vortex mixers on sale. Ooh. I
Yeah.
almost want one. Almost.
All
It'd be handy for a lot of people, but I have like 13 paints that I use regularly, and that's it.
Switch over to the paint cam. Paint cam.
I will be back streaming this week, but I have a lot of prep to do on models. So I won't be painting. I'm just going to do some reading streams to ease back into it because I've been gone from home for like 2.5 weeks. And I just got back. So settling in.
So, Cassie, since you've been gone, excuse me, that beer's making me burp. I got some plinths from Jacob Jasonson, and
oh, nice.
and so I wanted to show them off to you because where's my new glasses? Or my hobby
Wow.
glasses? This is the one
Love
that I ordered.
mouthwood.
This is the one I ordered. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit because it's kind of got little, kind of looks swampy in a bit because it's like green and marbleized and very smooth. Got a good felt base on it and everything. You have to tell me if it all is in focus and everything because I've had to reset up some cameras. But this is the base I want to use, and I'm thinking about blocking it off and making it a swamp type thing and filling it with acrylic. I don't know. I'm kind of.
Are you going to put any kind of things that might be swamp plants or kelp
Yes.
or something?
Yeah, I was thinking about
Okay.
that, and maybe like a lily pad. Make a lily pad and stuff like that. Some fishies and something
That's
in the water.
something I've never done as a resin pour. I've been too chicken.
I'm kind of like that too. I'm like I've never done it either, but okay, might do it. But he also this is the one that I ordered. And he's got a little bit of things I'm just going to kind of clean up and stuff. But he sent me 2 others, just for. He said his cat accidentally knocked him in, and that's the reason why I got him. Type thing. So.
Oh, that's pretty. I like that.
And then
And you could put that on its side too.
yeah, you could do it like this, or like this, or like this, or whatever.
Yeah.
You could say like this instead of like this, or like this,
Yeah.
or like this, or like this. Didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
This one was the other one he gave me. So I just thought this was interesting. I'll probably give these away. I mean,
That would be nice to throw a bust on.
Yeah, this one right here. Just put it right here in the top of it. And Yep.
Or drill a hole that's coming out the sort of back of the bust or the lower back, maybe at an angle, and so that it's sort of coming out the front.
I mean, they're very pretty, very nice, very inexpensive. So the model I want to make as my competition piece, and that I want to work on, is Privateer Press has what's called the Legendary Series models. They're 75 millimeter hobby figurine, and this is the Totem Huntress. It is the Totem Hunter, aka Predator-esque type model. And I want to do this as someone had done this as a competition piece at Warfare Weekend, and I was like, "Ooh, this looks really cool." There are very few pieces, a lot of it resin, cool base. I won't be using that. But am I in focus? Oh, I need to pull it back. Let me tilt this up a little bit. Oh, wait.
Can you hold it closer to the camera so it's bigger?
Ooh, hold on. Let me. It is definitely
Or zoom in. I mean,
Yeah. Give me
either
a
way.
second. Let me.
Yeah, the light makes it hard to see.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
You might
Yeah,
be able
why-
to hold your hand over the light and cast a little shadow on it too. That might help.
Let me see if I can zoom in. Probably zoomed in as far as I can.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah. But I can turn on autofocus.
Oh, because that always works.
Ha ha. Autofocus. Focusing on all the things you don't want it to focus on.
Oh my god.
And it could be too white too. Hold on.
Yeah, it's burnt out.
Hold on. Ooh. Oh.
Is it on their website?
Probably. Can't get a good shadow over it because of.
Actually, it looks pretty good from there. You can see details
Yeah,
there.
from further away,
Yeah.
it's not burnt out much.
Yeah, not much.
But I mean, it's got quite a bit of. Actually, you know what I can do? Hold on.
You can
Leave us all waiting?
give me cookies. You know what? I'm dying for cookies right now for some reason. I would like cookies, please.
I could also use some cookies.
Like just a couple of what are the Samoas, like those Girl Scout ones with the
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
coconut.
good. We're not even asking for Thin Mints here. We're asking for like the second best cookie.
No.
What are you saying? No, I'm asking for Samoas.
I mean, yeah, you're not asking for Thin Mints.
Samoas are the best cookie.
Oh, when you wonder where the podcast ended,
Well,
it's because Kathy
it
and Tom,
had to do with raisins.
raisins and Samoas.
Look, there's a difference of opinion. Legionnaire says it's Hanukkah, get donuts. Happy Hanukkah, everybody who celebrates.
Yes, and I will happily take donuts.
I would also like donuts now. Damn it. You know what I want? I want the powdered sugar lemon filled donut.
That's kind of
That's
weird.
what I want. I'd like to place my order now.
Weird. I can't get a good brightness or anything out of it.
Sorry, I had to message Banyan since he's not home. Tell him to bring
That's
donuts.
fun. Oof. That is a fun model. You know what? Hey, Xander. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, Xander Fuller.
You know what I expect to see on this model, Gonzo, is you know how the skin on the Predator has the spots on it?
Yes.
That is what I expect to see on this. That little pattern of spots. I think that would be fun. Missy
Hold on.
says I have Chinese because I needed soup for my sinuses. That is a very good reason. Not that
almost-
we need a reason for Chinese, but that is a good reason.
Yeah, I almost got Chinese today, but I didn't want to order Chinese just for myself.
I would like hot and sour soup too with my donut, please.
I'm not picky. I'll just take donuts.
It's weird.
What?
I had all this set up, and the camera just decided not to work with me.
I don't think I've ever had egg drop soup. Captain Mizzy says I got egg drop soup. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had egg drop soup. And now I'm curious.
I'm not a big normal soup guy. I'm more of a stew guy, so most Chinese soups are not really in my oeuvre.
It looks better darker, Gonzo, even though it.
That's pretty good. You can really see the detail on that one
You
there.
can see
Yeah,
the detail.
because it's also primed. So you can really.
Yeah.
So. But the model.
I like that model. That's
That was
fun
a
one.
3D print I did.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I like that one a lot. So, I mean, you really can't see it because it's kind of washed out because of all the bright. Here, hold on. Let me turn off some lights.
Welcome to Playing with Cameras.
101.
Yep.
We're sort of at 102 now. You're working with brightness.
Yeah.
There you go.
So now you can see it.
Perfect.
But that is a model that I want to work on. Now, because this is the reason why I was like, oh, Kathy's going to love me because this is, something that I want to do. And they typically are jungle style type creatures anyway. So they do things in the jungle. They are a predator. So, I mean, it is, pretty much common the way they do. I mean, the arm goes on like this, which of course paint separate. This arm goes here.
How about I suggest pinning those also, making it easier to put them back on after you have painted them?
Correct.
Yes. In first, dry fit, then paint.
Yeah. And of course, I still have to wash everything, and this little part of the loincloth goes right underneath here. Type thing. But I figured it would look really cool on here. Kind of stand her, like this. Blah, blah, blah. Type thing. And then do like a swampy thing right in here, which I think would be really cool. So they do have a camouflage-like ability, so they can be stealthied and hidden and everything. So that's the reason why I was going to go with the color scheme of this plinth. That's the reason why I bought it, because it was kind of greeny and so on and so forth, my ears itch type thing. So do you think using the plinth as your color scheme is a good thing to go with? Or do you think that it would just push things too far?
You could. I don't know. I've never really done a plinth. There you have it. I have a few plinths, and I've been meaning to do that. But it's funny. There's so many people I know that have these fancy plinth bases they make, and I have gotten some plinths, and I've been meaning to do that. But most of the stuff I paint is for gaming stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. Everything I
And
paint is for gaming pretty much, so.
so it all has to be on those specific bases. I don't know that other people do that. I haven't heard people talk about trying to match their color scheme to their plinths. And the plinth is just a decorative thing that you can now, when you make your base, you can incorporate colors from the plinth into the base. But I honestly think if you're doing a predator sort of color scheme with this, then it inevitably is going to have some earth tones in it.
Yep.
Skin is going to have some tones that are going to match that plinth anyways.
Yeah, because I mean, definitely this is going to be earthy, jungly colored type, stuff on here. So it's going to definitely be, that type of feel and that type of look to the model. I mean, there's not going to be, I'm not going to, there's got some funky mold lines.
I don't know if you've already considered it. You probably have, but grabbing some photo references from the interwebs for, predator.
For anything.
To use those as references for skin and for armor and whatnot. That's super helpful. It will be very helpful.
Yeah, definitely going to be using that type of thing. And like you were saying, the spots and stuff on the skin, 100%. I was like, that's got to be, got to be put in there because, I mean, it just looks cool. Got this little piece of
It's that added little extra bit of detail.
Yeah.
And when you're painting competition minis, adding those extra little details is key. Because anybody could paint, a skin tone, but not everybody considers putting like a pattern on the skin like that, or putting tattoos on the skin, or uh, adding things like the skin is darker on the outside of the arms and the back, but it's lighter on the stomach and the underarms and that kind of thing, like you see in nature sometimes. And those are interesting details. And adding little designs to, anything, or adding, bits of dust, or just little details of the environment. Maybe an insect has landed on it, or could be anything. Adding little details like that to the base also helps.
Yeah, because I've never done a resin pour. I mean, I've seen it and, so on and so forth, so I know it. And I've worked with some resin, not all of it. I mean, I haven't done something like that big. I've only done like on a small base type thing, and used like just water effect. Nothing that's been, that
Yeah, yeah.
huge.
I've
So
done water effect, but never a pour, and that's one of those things that is on my that's on my hobby list of things to try every year. Every year, we do that hobby resolution thing, and that's on that list, and it never gets done.
So, I mean, I haven't washed it, haven't cleaned it, haven't done anything to it. I'm just kind of like, oh, I need to get rid of the mold lines and clean that up real
hmm
quick. I wanted to do that while I was here because I have another model that I wanted to
What's
show.
the what's the thing sticking off of the loincloth that's hanging down?
This right here, flash, needs to be cut off.
That's a little gate.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I just haven't cut that. I was trying to get also these little small
You
pieces
just
and stuff.
don't have a little
I do.
nipper
I just haven't done it yet.
cutter.
Yeah, I got one because there's also two on the feet. I was just kind of
Then
my.
you want to drill into the feet too, because you want to pin those feet to the base, not glue them. Well, you want to glue them, but you also want to pin them.
You don't want to
Because
just.
you probably won't paint it on the base just because.
No, no. So what you can do is pin it to something else that will hold on to it. So you have something to hold on to it.
Well, yeah, I have the
Like
base. This
Slush.
this is the base that actually comes with 75 millimeter base, and I was like, oh, I could just drill it into this and have this hold it, and I could use this to paint
It's
with.
actually harder on that because of the way they're going to go through. It's not going to sit as well. You want something longer like this so you can actually just drill them down and you get decent stability. Because in that, they're not. It's not enough material. It's gonna wobble. And that's gonna be a pain in the ass of painting. I've tried it before. It's a pain in the ass in painting. So get yourself a wooden dowel or a cork if you and your wife drink wine, something like that, and drill it in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I use dowels. Dowels like
Yeah. Well, I've got all the ones from
I
these
use dowels
painting
like
trays.
use
Good.
dowels like this, but I also will just blue tack something to it. This is a bottle cap.
If it's on a base, you can blue tack it, but if it's not on a base, it's hard to blue tack. It'll probably not stand up while you're painting. I tried that with the explosion test shield for cable, and it just doesn't work. So
But also, if you're pinning it to the original base, so it's going to have pins in its feet. You can just drill that into a bottle cap too and pin that in there for extra stability. But yeah, a cork, if you can get it, or a dowel rod where you can just leave one of the pins longer and stick it into a dowel rod. I have a pink foam thing with a bunch of holes poked into it that hold a bunch of dowel rods.
yeah. Well, I've got it's handy. Let me grab it. Hold on. I've got this thing my buddy Chris Wells made me way back when.
Nice. Yep.
And so I've got a bunch of these for it. And you see I got bases and stuff in it. Blue tack for some of them. And then, dominoes on one, so I can literally just put her in there. I mean, there's a lot of use to that.
Perfect.
And she's
Yeah.
not glued into the dowel rod, so I don't need to do that whole longer pin thing. I can quite literally just take her out of it. She can just come right out. And then I got to turn on the light to figure out where she goes again. Find holes.
Yeah, there are definitely things you can blue tack to a dowel rod. There are things you're going to want to pin to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends on the model.
Yep. Just got to use the right.
Especially metal stuff that's so heavy.
Yeah, plastic's a little easier, but still, with Banyan was trying to do Doctor Strange, and one of the new ones, and he's like, "I'll just blue tack it." I'm like, "It's not going to paint while blue tack, dude. It's going to move when you put paint on it.
It is, yeah.
It's just you're going to have to pin it." He's like, "Oh, damn it, I don't have a pin vise." Like, how the fuck you ain't got a pin vise?
Here,
Here.
have one of mine.
I got a bag full.
My tea is still hot.
But I mean, this is coming.
What's that?
Like, so she would sit something like this.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Is she ready for spearfishing? Is there going to be some kind of giant eel creature breaking the surface of the water?
I'm still in the planning stage. I mean, I've got quite a few months to do this, so I'm I'm not going to be rushing. I'm actually going to probably kind of do, like you were saying, I'm going to look up pictures of Predator because I like that color scheme. I'm going to try to do no metallic and try to do nothing but like non-metallics or something similar. Try to get away from doing complete metallics. Because I kind of want it to be kind of natural looking and less metallics in a way. Just something I kind of want to push myself, type thing. This is my project. Not going to be completed in a day or a week or a month or whatever.
Yeah.
Taking my time with it. Because I got to do some cleaning up and, all the other stuff. Like right underneath this leg, there is a miscast, so I got to do a little bit of filler in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just needs to be filled in. There's a little gap in there.
I'd recommend if you want some out of the box thinking about color theory and non-metallic metals and how different colors relate to each other on the model, subscribe to Craft World Studios Patreon for a couple of months and do some things with them, and they do amazing work. They're from Poland, or at least Marco is I think they both live in Poland. Anyways, they're both amazing painters. It's a couple. And they do some brilliant work with color like you wouldn't expect. Colors like you wouldn't expect in the shadows and the midtones and stuff. Lots of reflected surfaces reflecting off of each other, not necessarily object source lighting, but just, the metal, the non-metallic metal surfaces reflecting the things around them. And they just do a really good job of it and of explaining it. I would recommend Jim, but he's painting in oils, and that's not everybody's cup of tea.
The second best Wapple.
Mm-hmm.
Missy says it's so. It's so.
But I mean, this was just something I thought this would be a good, a long-term project, something I can work on. I can highlight and show some. I got to clean some of this up stuff because he's got some like parts, where he dyed it. He dyed the wood, and it's kind of got some stuff sitting off.
It'd be really good for that.
Lighter
brass brush.
Yeah, you could do that too. I was just kind of looking at it. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
noticed that that I got a brass brush, but I want to do it, outside probably. That way it's not doing it all over the place. But yeah, there's a lot of loose bits that need to be cleaned up.
You'll do your resin here.
Yeah.
But you won't do your natural wood. Wait, that didn't sound right. Never mind.
Y'all still have your minds in the gutter?
Always in the gutter. So that's gonna be like one of my long-term projects, type thing. And then I have this model from Creature Caster. Oh, I want to show you something I printed off. You can't tell anybody, so nobody look at the stream while I'm showing Kathy and John this. So everybody just kind of look away. Don't pay attention. I did some printing, and check out this.
Ooh, three-eyed skull.
It's a troll. Someone made a
That-
troll skull.
It's so cute.
I gotta
Why
fix-
is this not something anyone else can see?
Because I just like being weird.
But is trolls have three eyes? Is this a specific troll that I don't know
No,
about?
I'm thinking about filling that in, and putting either like another horn there, or maybe like a gem inside of that.
A
I mean,
gem would
certain
be cool.
trolls
I mean,
have 4 eyes. Mostly internet trolls.
Mostly internet trolls.
ha 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 ha.
Hey, look, someone popped that up. I had to spike that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a skull. It doesn't need eyeballs. Although a gem would look cool in that spot. That is true.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. I'm working on. I've already started thinking about trophies for Warfare Weekend, and this is one of the trophies I'm thinking about. Since in Privateer Press they got Orgoths, a new faction coming out, and this very much looks like an Orgoth skull.
Orgoths are trolls.
Not necessarily, but they do.
Are they ogres but just spelled differently?
Kinda.
Or is that ogres or ogres or?
Ogres are our Games Workshop copyrightable name for ogres.
Yeah.
But that's
Or
ogres.
ogres. Or ogrin if you want to be 40k-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I printed this up. I also printed up some bears for a friend of mine because he was like, "I need these bears for my Trollblood army." I'm like, "Okay."
I need bears.
Oh, cool. Let's check the quality of these things.
Hold on.
I would like to see bears, please.
Hold on. I'm getting them. He wanted.
Legionnaire says, I don't think Orgoths are trolls. So, what are Orgoths then?
I have no
It's
clue. I
some
just thought it
kind
would
of
look really
swamp
cool.
Monster.
Here's 2 of the bears. They're polar bear mounts.
Polar bears.
Oh.
Do they have
Yeah.
to be polar bears?
Can you hold them up? I can barely see the detail.
You're probably. It's
What
gonna
if
be
your
hard to see.
Trollkin are, desert Trollkin.
That's 2.
Man.
I'm
Those are
wondering how many
tiny
bear
bears.
puns I have to do before someone notices.
I expected them to be bigger.
Well,
That's what she said.
well, what was funny is whenever I told him, I was like, "Hey, you want me upsize these or leave it like it is?" And he's like, "No, leave it like it is." And so I printed them, and they're the way they want. Now, if he wants them any bigger, he'll have to send me it and tell me how much bigger he wants.
I would like mine upsized, please.
Well,
Yeah,
what's
those
interesting?
are like cubs. Those are like bear cubs.
What was
Yeah,
interesting
they're
is
just cute and small.
he measured out the models that are that Privateer Press has that they sit on the Tuffalos, and so these are actually bigger than the Tuffalos, which is interesting.
You know,
Yeah, but bigger
as
isn't
I look
always
at
bigger.
those and I think of the small troll bloods, not the big ones, but the ones that are more human sized, I could see them being, to scale with that, I guess.
I don't know. They still seem kind of small to me.
Yeah, I thought so too, but this is what
I
the
mean-
person wanted.
I mean, they're barely the right size.
Ha 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 ha. Did you?
So, but I printed those off. So
Yeah,
he's
grown from Gonzo. That's a win.
Mhm.
But I got my new wet palette set up, so I could start using that. But then I got these models from. I showed this off, but I think I want to start building it and putting it together, which is the Creature Caster. What's his name? Trickster and such. And they've got him here. And I want to start working on him, maybe paint him up and work on him a stream. But I want to do the eyeball first. I don't want to do the caster. I want to do the eyeball because it's kind of a beholder-esque type model.
Are these for Judgment?
I think this actually can be a judgment model. But I want to do this.
Oh, I want to paint an eyeball.
So I think I want to work on these because this is the character that walks around with them and does whatever, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that this model can be used for judgment. I just don't know.
Hey, Sheza.
So I'm going to put these back in there.
You
The
didn't like that
ARG
one,
was
Kathy?
for John, not for Sheza.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Higher quality ones. Ugh.
What?
Come on.
Bears.
Come on up. Bears.
Bears.
The bears.
The bears.
But this is the base. Let's go ahead and get snippet on this. This one is not going to be. I think this might be a judgment model. I don't know.
Get snipping.
Type thing. We'll have to see. I don't know what it is. We'll have to wait till judgment is final. Which was interesting. You didn't get to hear it, but Warfare Weekend, there was a lot of people demoing and playing the new edition at the convention.
Yeah.
And it went off really well. A lot of people were like, "This is a lot of fun. I like the grid-based system. It makes it a whole lot easier."
Good.
Type thing. And I'm
Good.
like, "Yeah, it makes it a whole lot easier, a whole lot quicker to play, so on and so forth," which I thought was interesting. He's got a head.
I think once they get more to more conventions where they can demo this and people see it and get familiar with it and stuff, they'll know that it's good. They're just, I mean, they just started making that game and then all of a sudden COVID and everything was,
Yeah, because it'd been out a couple of years before COVID, and then at the end, so in 2019, into 2019, they said they were going to do a new edition. And
Yeah,
they were
with the
gonna-
smaller models.
smaller models and the grid, which I thought was good. Everybody that tested it out, that had played it before, was like, "Oh yeah, this is so much easier, so much better, so much quicker," type thing. So I'm like, "Yep." It was a good.
I'm neutral on the grid. It's got goods and bads.
Yeah. Well, people enjoyed it. A lot of people were sitting there playing it and testing it out, and they were
That's
like,
all that matters.
I enjoy it and stuff. And I was like, "What do you think about it?" And they're like, "It's fun. It's easy. The grid system, I understand why they did it. It makes it a whole lot easier to deal with than the whole measuring out and having widgets and so on and so forth."
Uh-huh. So is the eyeball a floating thing? Does it go on a floaty base or have a clear support or something?
Actually, it does, but it sits on these little rocks. There is one of these arms, or
Okay.
one of these two.
Oh, okay. I see what you. Yeah.
It's like two of these arms sit on it. There's a big old gate right there.
It seems very tenuous.
Yeah, I haven't put it on here yet to test it because I mean you have to put them together first to see how he's going to sit on there. But
Yeah.
I just thought this was a really cool looking model. I think I'm going to do him red.
So, Gonzo, whenever you get that together, pin whichever arms are the ones that attach to the base.
You know what the eyeball needs to be like?
Black.
That movie I saw yesterday. The giant starfish. Starro.
Well, I guess we know what Kathy's going to review during the.
I mean, she'd already told us. It's not like it was a fucking surprise.
true.
They didn't know.
I did
Well, yeah, they
mention
did.
it.
She did mention it.
Did. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how he's supposed to sit on here, but we'll have to figure that out. So, but this was another piece I wanted to put together. Not that bad. I mean, it's got a little bit of mold line right here.
I feel like an emery board, right? Those little soft emery boards. Take care of that.
Yeah, it's just a little small one.
Do you have any of those? Those little soft
No, I don't have one of the soft
ones.
one.
They're fantastic, especially for cleaning 3D printed models.
Yes, since that's resin, if you start using emery board, wear a mask,
Why
Wear a
would I
mask.
need to wear a
an
mask,
actual
John?
dust mask.
Wear a mask.
Because those resin particles are fucking terrible if they get in your fucking lungs.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No way.
Technically, you should probably be doing it now, but
Yeah.
since you were scraping a little bit, anything that's going to get you small particles. Like technically, if I work on resin at all, I just put my mask on. It's not fucking hard. Like even just the standard one we wear out in public will work for the bigger particles. But for the smaller ones, you definitely want to get a dust particle mask. I mean, they're cheap, super cheap. You don't need to get a full respirator like some crazy people. You could event hood if you've got one for airbrushing. That's a good place to put together your resin models as well.
Ah, yes, that would be nice. Yeah.
But honestly, wear a mask, and then I would, if you've got pets, vacuum as soon as you're done. Make sure the pets don't go in the area you work on it. I used to only work on resin models in the store, just because it was better overall. Until they started bringing the dog there, then I'm like, oh, can't work on them in the store because there's a dog here.
Kind of weird.
Come on, Captain Muse. If I want that, I'll go back on Twitter.
I enjoy my lung cancer. Thank you very much.
We get wonderful gems like new variant of the coronavirus seems to be happening more in people who are unvaccinated.
I know. I was shocked to hear that.
Like that's from like an actual like LA news, like LA News 4 or whatever. I'm like, for fuck's sake, really? That's your fucking headline? Like whoever wrote that should probably be punched and then fired for incompetence.
I need to go get my booster. But yeah, I guess, I mean, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be for judgment or not. No clue. Missed a piece.
That's a good callback, Kathy.
Mizzy said, I'm just being a troll. And I said, one of the four-eyed variety.
Most says he believes it is usable in judgment.
I believe it is because this is the unmounted version. Because there is a mounted version of this character. So this piece goes here, and then this base.
Ah.
That's where it would glue on. And then if that is there, that means this piece possibly goes, or maybe it's this piece. Yeah, this piece goes here. So just quick. Very, 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 very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the small connection points either, Legionnaires. It's worrying. I feel like it would have to be pinned for extra.
This isn't
Like,
too bad because it's
gosh.
kind of grooved.
Clear post will work.
This point
Yeah.
right here wouldn't be too bad
That's
because
true. It really sits right into it, doesn't it?
yeah, it's kind of
And
grooved. It's grooved out, so you could glue that in there and it'll
yeah, and
hold.
super glue, resin to resin with super glue works really well
Yeah.
generally.
And then glue this here, and should be fine. And that's pretty much
Because
where you're
this
holding.
isn't that privateer press kind of resin.
No,
No, it's not Restic. Which also glues to itself very fucking well, unfortunately.
Oh, only when you don't want it to.
Yeah.
okay, so that's got to be cleaned.
Like literally, you had to pose it before you put glue on. Knew exactly what pose it was because as soon as you touched it together, it was like, "I am now bound for all eternity."
Which there's a skull somewhere on that model. So let's look at the
We
other
did.
piece.
Did a pause here? Did Legionnaires get married last week?
Yes.
Congratulations, Legionnaires. I missed that.
That's the reason. Couldn't come to Warfare Weekend because he was wanting to get married. I told him I'd marry him at Warfare Weekend, but he decided against it.
That's
Aren't you
because he
already
wanted to
married?
marry her.
Whatever.
Oh, got that one from both sides.
Well, you know.
Oh, it appears good. I really like this model though because this person is very sickly and disgusting looking.
So it's kind of nurgly,
Very
nurgle-esque, nurgle-like.
You know, it's a model after my own heart.
kind of worried about popping this off the base because this is very thin.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest
It'll
you
be-
cut the whole tab off towards the big block of resin,
Yep.
and then be careful with the rest of it when you take it off.
It'll be fine.
Oh, he's got two heads.
Well, I don't know. I when I was putting together Toad, his
Oh,
tongue
I like
broke.
the curly one. Do the curly one. The curly one is cute.
Yeah, the curly
I
one's
like it.
definitely better. It's got more character.
Je ne
It's
sais quoi.
whimsical.
I mean, more character. I don't have to say je ne sais quoi because I can actually define the thing, so it's got character.
Yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker, I know a little French. What's up? I mean, very little, but still.
Ooh, Legionnaire says I saw someone painting the Juggernaut of Pestilence. It has that old school Death Guard vibe. I don't know if I've seen the Juggernaut of Pestilence. I have to look that up.
There's a lot of jokes I could make there, but I'm gonna skip them all.
All of them.
What? Juggernaut of
Banian,
Pestilence?
Banian's
What?
not here, so it's not worth it.
Oh. Where's Banion at?
He is with Phoenix Paper. They are hanging out together today. I told him to bring me donuts on his way back.
Will they
He's
be
not-
lemon filled?
I don't care what they are if he's bringing donuts. Fuck, I
I
stick
would like
donuts.
donuts, please.
I'm not picky right now.
Not picky.
Quick,
I mean,
someone send
Beggars
donuts.
cannot be choosers. Be careful with that part, Gonzo, because that's very similar shape to Toad's tongue that I broke when I was trying to clean
Oh
it.
yeah. I was like, ah.
Luckily, he looks okay without it. Just like an open mouth with a weird grin, and I'm not the huge fan of the tongue, but it's just really annoying anyways. Actually, I don't care if they're cream filled. Actually, the local
Oh,
grocery
you know
store.
what? Love me
Sorry.
some cream filled.
Yeah, the local
Just
grocery
saying.
store. I've shown Kathy and Gonzo this. Make some marshmallow cream filled donuts that are like fucking amazing. I don't buy them anymore because I'm trying to lose weight, and that is not a way to lose weight. That is the way to do the
No, it
opposite.
is not. It is not. One once in a while.
Yeah, but they come in
Yeah.
packs of 6.
Yeah, no. You would need like 5 other people in order to eat that.
Well, considering Banyan generally doesn't even eat one of them, I just have me.
That's disappointing.
But they always get eaten before they go bad. Which I think is actually part of the problem again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mizzy, I'm sure I went right there too. I'm just gonna Google Juggernaut now.
Juggernaut of Pestilence.
Pestilence. Why, it just looks like a what did they call those guys back in the day in 40K, the Terminators, the Obliterators. That's what it reminds me of.
It does. It looks very much like a Nurgle Obliterator.
Kind of looks like an Obliterator with like testicle things hanging off of the guns where the wires go through.
Wait. So
Testicles.
he's got truck nuts on his. He's got gun nuts.
He's got
I'm
gun nuts.
there's one picture
my
in front of
God.
me, and that's what it looks like. From
Oh,
that picture, I feel like I would have to paint it that way.
I mean, it does look like that. You're right, but why does it have gun nuts?
Well, why not? I mean, it's interesting to me how they have all this sort of bloated, oozing skin goo stuff that kind of seeps out from under the armor. I don't know that I'm a fan of that, around the feet, where the feet end up being these misshapen blobs where it looks like they took candle wax and melted it, on there. I mean, I understand what they're trying to say with it because Nurgle stuff is bloaty and flesh is sloughing off of it and stuff, but
It
I
feels a
don't
little
know.
lazy. Feels a little lazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Like lazy sculpting. Like the gun nuts, I can appreciate that detail, the entrails spilling out, the pockmark, skin, the buboes and stuff like that. But, the saggy flesh just sort of, oozing down to the ground is just, I don't know. It's weird. The rest of it is totally normal. That is weird. It screws with my aesthetic. So now you know how I feel about the Juggernaut of Pestilence.
She doesn't mind the gun nuts, but the oozing is a whole different story.
Well, they would be fun to paint.
Would they be blue?
I feel like I might have to embellish them even more, so it's just a bit more obvious. Because, duh. But yeah, I would paint that. I absolutely would paint that. I would even paint the oozing raspberry jelly coming out of the armor on the feet. I'm just calling it raspberry jelly from now on.
Raspberry jelly. There you go.
Pretty sure that is what Nurgle oozes.
Just raspberry jelly?
Yep.
Guys, you mentioned you had some Marvel Crisis Protocol questions. For
Oh,
me?
I did. So, Marvel Crisis Protocol, there was like a big. Okay, I'm just going what was told. I don't believe it. I don't know what it is. You have to explain it to me because I have no clue. That another card got put on the banned list?
Yes.
Why was it? I mean, like I said, I'm not as well versed, so I'm honestly curious of why another card was put on the ban list.
Because it was broke.
But I understand that it was broke, but what made it broke?
So what it was all or nothing, and it's basically you get a second activation with a character, but
Okay.
then afterwards they're KO'd. But people were using it on characters who are their days. Sorry, their days. So they might flip or they might just be taken off the table depending on what they were. People were using it on people who were almost already dead anyways, just trying to get that super alpha turn. And it's kind of a negative play experience, Sure, it may like say it much, but when you put it on, say Hulk with one wound left, suddenly fucking that's really hard to deal with. He can kill a bunch of stuff. Or Magneto, who's almost down also, he can do a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah.
So they just felt like there was no other way to balance it, which I couldn't think of a way either. So they put on the ban list, and they take that very seriously. They put very few cards on the banned list. In fact, the other card we thought that was meant for the banned list, which was Dune Prophecy, they actually fixed in a very interesting way. They made it only Asgardians, so it doesn't work on, technically speaking, all the characters it was actually used on. Well, because people would use it, you get to add your physical defense to all your physical attacks, but you never ever get to roll physical defense again, ever.
Huh.
Ever?
Yeah, so they'd put on someone like Carnage, who has like a 5 physical defense, just add 5 dice to all of his attacks, which is pretty fucking egregious. Or they put it on someone like Black Widow or Mystique, who have 3 and 4 physical defenses, and then have a physical rapid fire attack, where in one turn they could fairly easily, with that number of dice, get 4 attacks. You know, so you're getting a lot of reward out of it. If there's no one nearby you, you don't care about that physical so much. So, it actually is similar to a discussion me and Brendan, one of the guys I play with, had, where we figure that all the cards that are faction specific aren't broken. They're fine. It's only the generic cards that seem like the ones that are too powerful. And it looks like they're really doing their job of taking a look at those. Pretty much all the ones that are everyone takes are now on the restricted list. And then they banned that one because, like I said, there was no way to fix that.
I was kind of curious because I saw it and it got pretty heated and everything about not only that it would need to be banned, but also that they're, oh my God, you're banning everything. You know, people get outrageous whenever things get banned.
Yeah.
Banning
Whenever the
everything.
thing that they like to use because it's broken gets banned, yeah.
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 I mean, it's a lot of
it's
exaggeration.
understandable.
Well, let me go and grab. I have a folder here where I keep all of those files. Here is the banned and restricted list. Let's look at all the things they have banned. Hold on. The banned list is 4 cards.
That is not much.
1 crisis card because it was a negative play experience. People were just grabbing it and basically grabbing a hostage and immediately evacuating him and getting points, and now your opponent can't get any points for that person. So it's a good quick score points. I've played it once. It was in my group for I was playing, and it was pretty good when used correctly. But that created a non-interactive experience, which they don't want. Then previously they banned the drop-off card, which is basically a flying character takes another character and drops them off really close to the enemy. You know, basically he flies, you move the character with you. And you just got some characters who shouldn't be that far up the board that quickly. So they figured it was not worth it, so they banned it. They did make a separate one for just what do you call it? A-Force, She-Hulk's team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as broken. It's got good stuff, but it's not as broken because it's only She-Hulk, and you're now putting your leader right up there in front of everyone. It can be scary, but it can also mean that she's just going to have to get her ass beat. The other one was Hired Muscle because it basically created another negative play experience scenario-wise. It moved tokens around. So they get rid of that. And then the new one, All You've Got. So they have 4 cards on the banned list. 4. But they're banning everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
there are even only 6 cards on the restricted list.
What a lot of people don't know and don't understand is this is one of their first games that they played. And they're getting upset. And I understand. But this is a game going through the growing pains is what I like to call it. Because people are now starting to get out and play with other people, aka conventions. Because I know that card, All or Nothing, was played a lot at Warfare Weekend. It was like on almost everybody's list. Because it's, broken.
And that's a warning sign. Like,
yes.
That's what they're looking at. So what they have left on the banner restricted list is they have Doom Prophecy, which is probably going to come off because it's not broken in Asgardians. It's not broken at all. They added Bitter Rivals because Bitter Rivals is in everyone's fucking list. They have the rest of the cards they have are all because they had All You've Got was on there, but they moved it to banned. And everything else they have is all the healing and damage reduction stuff that's generic, Brace for Impact, Field Dressing, Med Pack, and Patch Up, because they don't want it to ever become too easy to heal somebody. They don't want it to stagnate defensively. So, I have no problem with their ban list. They've stated why. It's all good. It's restricted. It's fine. I mean, and I understand they guys coming from a new game, but they're gonna have to fucking take a chill pill.
Yeah.
It's It's people coming in and getting upset and not listening to people who are veterans of many games and going like, yeah, this is fine. This is actually a very well balanced game. You should be happy this is the only list. If you're playing Magic the Gathering right now, they don't fuck around. They're just like, nah, fucking ban that.
Oh yeah.
They don't fuck with that shit. They're just like, either it's good or ban it. That's where they're at.
Guess what, guys?
Is it
Media
chicken time?
section?
Media section. Media time, media segment, media something.
We've got movie
Media.
sign.
Okay, hold on. All right, let me put this down. Switch. Bears. Move the bears out of the way. Camera. Oh, I need to move that. What? There we go. All right. Media section. I only have like 95 things to talk about.
I have like 3, and I'm sure 2 of them are going to be talked about by multiple people.
Let me see,
Yeah,
let me see what
I have a few. Yeah, which also multiple people could talk about.
Spoiler,
I have
everyone.
one, two,
Kathy and I didn't
three.
watch Dune, so we're not talking about Dune tonight.
Yeah.
That's true. I never got a chance. I wanted to. I still plan to, but yeah, other things intervened.
No. I have 1, 2, 3 things to talk about. And one of them I'm going to talk about in link that John and I are going to talk about. But I can go in with one of them. I am still watching the Wheel of Time series. They have 4 episodes out. I only got a couple of episodes in, so I'm holding off on that information until I finish all 4
I
of them.
also would like to watch that. So yeah, that would be cool if we can do that one together.
Think you can get all 4 of them, 4 or 5 watched by next week?
Possibly.
Okay. That way we can talk. Because I don't remember. I only read the first book. And I don't even know if I read all the way through the first book. So
I've read the first book a bunch of times.
So
and
you'll
also
have to tell
out
me.
loud once. Imagine that.
And so I will try to see what I can do on that. I'll finish watching them and I'll wait for you, and we'll kind of review it together. I'm kind of on an iffy on it right now because the first episode had it. Something was up about the first episode, and I wasn't really particularly awesome about it. I think it was production wise there was an issue, so we'll just have to wait and see. I'll have to wait and see. I'll continue watching and see where I go from there. So,
I don't have a dragon in that fight, so feel free to watch it and spoil it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the books are out, so you really, to me, yeah, you can kind of spoil it, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So Kathy, go with what you got.
I watched Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings yesterday.
So did I. Not yesterday, but
And oh my god, loved it. Also, I had only just seen, like, days earlier, I had seen Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro. And there were just a little bit of a flavor of, like, the dragon and stuff. It kind of reminded me of that. And so, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a very fun adventure. I didn't know anything about
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi as a Marvel, and I have known nothing about that. So I was
There's
just enjoying it as a movie.
Here's a spoiler. I read Shang-Chi as a kid, and they're nothing in common, so it's okay.
And yeah, so I liked all the things about it. I don't know that there was anything in it that I didn't like on some level.
I would say watching the movie, none of it really. The pacing was a tiny bit odd at points, but not like really bad or anything. And other than that, I didn't have any problems at the time. When you go back and look at it, it does have a couple of the standard Marvel problems where it's got really cool fight choreography and all that stuff, and then the ending's just a basically CGI vomit on the screen. Not like it's bad quality or anything. It's just less impactful than some of the other stuff because it's so much CGI.
Yeah, this definitely had a ton of that, but it was I didn't have a problem with it either.
No,
I expected the flying wire, crouching tiger, hidden dragon type, type feel to it, and
Oh
that's what I
yeah,
got.
yeah. I immediately, as soon as the guy got in the fight with uh I don't know, I can't remember names, with the lady at
Hmm.
the, you know,
at the
in
place.
green, and all in the at the place, yeah, at the secret village, and they started fighting, and all I could think was, it's like what, I just said the name of that movie, and I'm having a brain fart. The House of Flying Daggers.
Yep.
That'll work too. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yep.
Um, yeah, yeah, both Crouching Tiger, Hidden. They were all in the same vein, and they went
Wuxia.
on
It's
a
called
kick of
Wuxia.
watching a bunch of those movies, and so this had did have that flavor to it.
It did. It was a very different style. It is basically like Marvel did a Wuxia movie. It's super cool. Aquafina, yes, that's her real names. Her comedy pretty much all hits. She manages somehow to be the obnoxious sidekick stereotype, but is never actually obnoxious.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
She's in
she.
that spot where they normally end up being obnoxious. I mean, she feels a lot of roles at once, and there's a joke about that if you watch the honest trailers for that. But no, her jokes pretty much all hit.
I was
Yeah.
also amused by Ben Kingsley.
Ah, that's the best running joke in Marvel. I'll be
Yeah.
honest. Between the Hail to the King, extra feature that was on one of the DVDs, and Iron Man 3, and for everyone out there who's upset about, because I ran about this a lot, about the Mandarin or Taskmaster, or people already upset about Miss Marvel and her fucking show isn't even out yet.
Oh yeah.
To everyone of them I say,
Shang fucking Chi. Look him up. You tell me your character is disrespected, then come back and talk to me after reading that shit.
nothing like it. And you know what? It's fucking okay, because a lot of those are racist stereotypes or third or fourth tier villains or heroes that are just really hard to explain because of so many years of Marvel comics backstory. You cannot tell all these stories the same. Like, yes, they could have something to Taskmaster. I don't care that they did what they did. It's fine. They could have had Shang-Chi back closer to his original. But you know what? They're not going to have his father be actually Fu Manchu.
See, I know nothing about the comic book at all. I
I
mean,
mean,
I knew
it
that
was,
it was a comic, and I knew that it was part of the Marvel, and
yeah.
stuff like that. But nothing, the story behind it, or never read the comic. So when I went into it, I was like, okay, I thought this was fun. It was good. A little bit of pacing issues, but overall, it was a good, solid movie. Um,
Yeah.
Aquafina, which technically is her stage name, I found out.
Yeah.
Her real name is something different, but that's what she goes as. And I've seen her in a couple of other things, and she's always that quirky, silly but serious. And they developed her character pretty well in this too, which I was really
Yeah.
good. She went from being the quirky sidekick comedy to she did something and she took it serious.
Yep.
And then the story, I had a good time. I didn't think it was a major issue, in my opinion. Like I
No,
said,
they're,
I
they're
don't know the comic, so I have no clue.
no. It's the thing is, it's not a major issue because literally it was just made. Shang-Chi was a comic that was made to capitalize on the martial arts hype of that era.
Yeah.
And Fu Manchu's in public domain. Like, fuck it, we'll use Fu Manchu as his father. Everyone knows who that is. It saves its backstory. And I think combining him with the Mandarin who's another obviously very racist stereotype you cannot do the way it was in the comics. I think combining those together was good. The only, like, sitting back here and talking about it, the only thing I think they could have done better was give the Ten Rings more of a Fu Manchu secret society type of feel to it. But that's not really the genre they're going for. So, it's fine. I enjoyed the crap out of it. Michelle Yeoh is an international treasure.
Yep.
She's in everything nowadays, and I'm all for it.
I think there were a couple of scenes that were stolen, and it was because of Wong. Every time that he was on scene, he was amazing, and I can't wait to
Yes.
see more of him in the upcoming Marvel stuff. Wong was really good, especially the after credit scene was even cooler and funnier.
Yeah.
We won't spoil it
That
for
was
that, people, but I thought that was really good. Everything that he was in, to me, was just upped it up even more because Wong is such a great character in the Marvel.
Yeah.
He's always like, "Don't fuck this up. You fucked it up."
And
Why'd
I
you fuck
enjoyed it because now they're doing it was high stakes, but it's not like high stakes for the universe so much. Someone would have whooped its ass on the way out, it would have happened, whatever. But they no longer have to build to just a certain point. They have like these vague next things coming. This didn't feel like just a setup for everything else, which is good. Because a couple movies here or there, while they were still good movies, felt a little too setup-y.
Mm-hmm.
That was sort of, Thor: The Dark World, very setup-y and not as good because of it. But I like that they're at that point. I enjoy it. I would give it maybe half a space herpy for the pacing issues.
I didn't notice the pacing issues. I'm going to give it 0 space herpes because
Okay.
I just liked it overall. There were so many fun things. Like there were amusing things and there were serious things, and it had all the highs and lows and all the adventure and action, and the martial arts were good and the acting was good, and the crazy fantasy creatures in the other dimension were fantastic. I loved them.
Mhm.
Morris, the little
Morris.
I was dying. It was amazing.
Yeah, I think I actually kind of reviewed it with V on there because she had seen it too, and I gave it like a half to 1 just because a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of pacing issues, but
Mhm.
overall it wasn't bad. It was good. It was entertaining. The comic relief wasn't so comic relief that it was annoying.
No,
It was
it was
just
all
right there.
very well done.
Yeah,
The guy in the bus with the filming thing. I had a little bit of martial arts when I was a kid, so I'm gonna try and rate this fight.
Well, and the way they tell the story with the flashbacks at the appropriate point is very good too. You come and you're not entirely sure what's going on, and then you're like, oh, they explain it as they need to, which is good.
yeah,
And as someone who doesn't is out of touch with like Marvel comic universe, I like that this can be a movie that you can go see not knowing anything about Marvel anything,
Yep.
and you can enjoy it.
Everything they add on is little bits. Like you don't need to know who Wong or his other person he was with at that first moment or the last moments are. You just know,
Yeah.
like, oh, this is cool. That's a guy. He did things. Awesome.
Now, is it extra fun now that I've finally seen Doctor Strange? Yes.
So very good.
John, what do you got? You got one that?
Well, since I know we're going to talk the other one there, I watched The Expendables 3 again.
Wow.
I've seen it multiple times. I just seen some clips on YouTube and like, you know what, fuck it, I want to watch this movie. So Thanksgiving Day I sat and I watched that. It's not really a Thanksgiving movie, but hey. And it is really enjoyable. I do enjoy the crap out of it. I think it's easily the best of that series. I hear they're making a 4th one now. They're starting to work on that, which I am hopeful for. People kind of badmouth it because it wasn't rated R anymore and it wasn't as good. It was actually better than the 2 previous.
It's
solved
just the Expendables. They're the ones with all the action stars.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the first one had just sort of a random generic plot, didn't really do enough with it. And then the second one, they pandered way too much. Like all the stuff people are like, oh, I thought we were going to do this in the first one. They did the second one. It was terrible. Like every time that happened, it was terrible. It was overall a decent movie, but then this one, they didn't have to do any of the needless pandering. They didn't do any of that. They just sat down, we had a story, and they told it, and they made a fun action movie. Not really realistic in any way, shape, or form, but enjoyable. I like it. I'm going to give it 1 space herpy just because I think it's that much fun. And I'm hopeful for another one if they make another one. And I wish they'd done the first 2 better. Gonzo.
I also, let's see, what else was something else I watched? Psych, the TV show had another movie come out, which I always liked Psych as a TV show, and they do a movie like every year to 2 years. This was Psych 3, and it's just as good. The guys have good comedy writing. It's good and solid. If you can watch it, go ahead. It's on, I think it's on the Paramount Network, which we get.
Paramount Plus.
Yes, Paramount Plus. But I enjoyed it. I like Psych a lot. I enjoy the characters more than anything, and such. So I was pretty happy with it. There's only so much more you can do, in my opinion. But the one thing I do like is one of the characters. What's his name? I'm googling him real quick. Timothy Amundsen. Uh, plays Carlton Lassiter. I guess he suffered a stroke a few years back, and he's been trying to get back into acting. And not kinda, he is back in acting, and he's doing a really good job. And I really like him a lot as an actor. And they had a bit on there, and it was kind of a pull at the heartstrings story for him because he was out and had the I guess it was stroke, and he came back in another TV series and was getting back into acting, and then it was come into Psych, and you can tell that they were doing, sometimes you just have to pick yourself up and get back doing it, and so on and so forth. And I really liked it a lot. It was really good. I like that. It's a good Psych show. So if you're into Psych, you'll like it.
Fair enough.
Kathy?
I watched after Shang-Chi and my happiness with that. We watched The Suicide Squad, the new movie, and that was interesting. And that's my very Minnesota way to describe that movie. Interesting.
Interesting is a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
It was kind of awful. Now, that being said, there were parts of it that I liked. But there were also parts of it where I was just like, why?
Why? Because this is what happens when you're the second-rate comic book movie company and you give a good director carte blanche to do whatever the fuck he wants.
I like the dots guy. That was amusing. I like that he was like, it's this virus in him and he has to like puke up dots. It's so ridiculous. Hilarious.
Do you know what that is? That's your mom!
Oh God, yes. Everything was his mom. I'm like, this poor guy.
Or the whole, I'm a superhero.
And then, yeah, poor guy.
Yep.
He was awesome. That may have been my favorite character.
I liked most of the characters when they were supposed to like. I mean, I liked Ratcatcher. She was interesting.
She was cool too.
I love Idris Elba, so Idris Elba's great. I love Joel Kinnaman. And spoilers. Anyone spoilers? 3, 2, 1. Very upset when they killed him, but it served the plot. It wasn't like a needless death, unlike everyone in the first squad in the first 5 minutes.
But the weasel.
Oh, you didn't watch the after credits?
No, I did.
Okay.
I did. I was like, I felt so bad in the beginning. I'm like, but
The weasel
and then at
ate.
the end.
I believe you missed when Colonel Rick Flag mentioned that the weasel ate babies.
I mean, he's a weasel.
What if he ate puppies? Would that be okay?
Look, it's his nature. He's a weasel. You look at something like that's a weasel humanoid, you don't know which parts of its brain are weasel and which parts are humanoid.
Oh, no. I mean, it was amusing.
Who can make that judgment call? The poor thing.
I think Gons and I both decided that we actually liked that movie quite a bit. I think he turned it up to 12 and he did the throttle back to 11. There are a couple parts. They're definitely completely off the chain.
Like I said, there were parts of it that I liked. There were characters I liked. But overall, I felt like it was pretty awful.
I'm going to guess that you don't care that Peacemaker's getting his own TV series.
That's like my least favorite character.
Well, there's some thoughts going around that Colonel Rick Flag's last words to him where he basically called him a joke, are going to be pivotal in him doing a heel face turn.
Sort of a
And as a
redemption
wrestler,
sort of
yeah.
thing.
As a wrestler, that's in his wheelhouse. I actually thought he was amusing. I thought him and Idris Elba played off each other well, and I would watch that movie again. What do you
I'm
give it
okay
on a
with it
rating
once.
scale?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna give it like what you give Beastmaster.
Which I will apparently never live down.
That isn't to say I wouldn't watch it again, though.
Fair. I do agree that I wouldn't watch it frequently as some other movies, but as clips, it's definitely a good clip movie.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
I would have see that scene where they go have the killing contest in the middle of the camp, and you just watch that scene on YouTube and you're done.
I can see that.
That's fair.
They were
I think
just such terrible people. Like,
they're criminals.
I know.
They're in jail.
The weasel. Poor guy.
They could show up again if they let James Gunn do something else. But this is why Marvel throttles him back. Like, whoa, James Gunn, that's too far. Bring this shit back a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Gonzo, are we gonna talk about Hawkeye?
Yes, let's talk about Hawkeye.
Okay. I liked it.
You know what? I liked it too. And the reason why I liked it is because it's not just another Marvel superhero. It
It's trying very hard not to be.
correct. And the characters are. I mean, Hawkeye is just human. You know, he doesn't have any superpowers, so on and so forth. He's just there, and he knows it because of what's going on in his life. He's beat up, he's battered, he's like, shit, this nearly killed me, and I can't regenerate like, everything else. But I liked it. The musical, of course, was atrociously bad on purpose.
Yeah,
which
it was on
great.
purpose.
Yeah, it was
great.
supposed to be.
So I have a different view of this. Also, I do like it for a lot of the same reasons, but I have a different view because they are taking Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run, which is available. It's a trade paperback you can buy on Comixology or whatever you want. I own it. It's great. And they're adapting it, which is difficult because Hawkeye in the Marvel Universe is a very different being than Hawkeye in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yet somehow they're tweaking just enough stuff in it where you see the underlying story, and they're doing a great job of working it into these characters, to this version of what's her name? Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
And the dog.
And the dog. Pizza dog.
Arrow. His name's going to be Arrow. They named him Arrow. Anyways. But, I like the way their interactions are, and I'm looking forward to where it's going. I mean, obviously we can't rate it yet. We're only 2 episodes in, but the first one felt really long, and the second one felt a lot shorter, but I'm interested to see where they go with it. I think Haley Steinfeld and Jeremy Renner play off each other well, but Jeremy Renner has actually good comedy chops, which people don't know. He's in a couple comedy movies where he has got pretty good comedic timing with stuff. So, like I said, looking forward to see where they go with it.
Me too.
I will say that I think they went a little too far on the LARP scene.
I think that was.
I definitely felt like they were giving LARPers a very bad rap, but I'm not upset at the scene because it ended up being pretty cool overall, and it's sort of telling the story. I think it's sort of, a lot of this is going to be about Hawkeye finding who he is.
Correct.
Really.
His
That scene, I think,
aftermath.
is an early telling point of that. So I would suggest it. Watch it if you can, Kathy. You don't have to this week because obviously Gonzo's already tasked you with watching all of something else. So, but you should put it on your list.
Yeah, I think the LARPing scene was over exaggerated, but it was meant to poke fun at everything. And
every time I see any TV show or movie show anything to do with D&D or LARPing or Renaissance festivals or reenactors, it's always super over exaggerated, and they make it seem like all these people are all obsessed with this lifestyle, and like some sort of weird reality show.
Here's a little story that most people don't know. Back when it was airing, when I was working for Games Workshop, Veronica Mars, the producer, was actually called to try and put. They wanted to use Games Workshop, for like one of the characters as a background and all, and they had to talk to our department that deals with that, our marketing department, and we told them no because they were going to make it the bad guy and make him all strange and weird, and use that as part of the reason why he was strange and weird. They're like, nope, can't do that.
Oh yeah.
Nope. Although, that being said, on Veronica Mars, there was a moment where the principal's son was in his room painting miniatures. And she comes and knocks on his door, and it's locked. And he's like, just a minute. I'm right in the middle of using this paint color, and I don't want it to dry. And I died. I died because I've said that.
Oh, absolutely. But no, that's good stuff. But I mean, I respect them for calling and asking
Mm-hmm.
rather than just going. We fielded the call and sent it over to our then marketing guy. I think that was Tim Huckleberry back then. And since I had taken the call, I like, what's the follow up on it? Just so I know if someone calls again, I know what's going on. So that was an interesting slice into the background of Games Workshop and the media. But
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't go quite that extreme with it, but it is
I
a
can
common thing.
appreciate them saying no on something that's going to put a hobbyist in a bad light.
Oh
Yeah, because I still see it on Twitter where people are like, "Oh, it looks like a crew from a Games Workshop store." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, I will beat you senseless."
Well, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I feel sympathy for Hawkeye because he's been through a lot of shit and he's beaten and he's tired
You,
and he's
you
done.
know who he is? He's Marvel. He's Marvel. The Marvel Cinematic Universe's version of John McClane.
Yeah.
And I always come back to this. It's a line in Live Free or Die Hard where his sidekick in that, the Apple kid, asks him like, why do you keep doing this? Is like, if there was someone else who would do it, I would let them, but there's no one else, so it's got to be me.
Yeah.
And that's what Hawkeye is. If there's something going on, there's no one else to do it. It's got to be him.
Yep.
He can't just let it not happen. Like if Cap was there to pick up the shield, so to speak, and go with it, he'd let him do it. And it's not like he's got into the Avengers. He doesn't know any of these people anymore. Who's left of the Avengers? Because Black Widow's gone, Cap's gone, Tony's gone. I mean, he and Banner never seemed remotely close.
Yeah.
He and Rhodey didn't seem close. He and Sam didn't seem close. Scarlet Witch is off on her own. He doesn't know anyone of these Avengers, so he can't ask them for help. Like, oh, hey, this thing's happening. Can you come and just whoop some people's asses? But besides, he has a trained SHIELD agent. He can handle most of this stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, I liked it. I liked it because it's not this super high powered. Let's use all of our superpowers to solve all the problems. This is a guy that's broken, beaten, and he's like he says, shit. I've got to do this because no one else will.
Actually, honestly, I think the him having a family makes him more interesting than in the comic where he doesn't have a family. He's divorced, but the hearing aid thing is actually a canon thing from the comics.
Oh, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know anything about it. I mean, I know the character, but I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next episodes. I want to see where it goes. I like all the characters. I'm Bishop. I like her. She's interesting and fun. I want to see where all it goes. So.
Absolutely.
And it's 8:30. I have more, but I'll hold off on for that for next week and stuff. So, guys, we appreciate you being on here, hanging out with us, chilling, relaxing. I will probably be doing some early afternoon streams just to get some hobby and stuff done, because I need to do some hobby and stuff. I think I'm going to be doing some Gundam streams and leave the painting for this. Maybe, I don't know, but I definitely going to do some Gundam stuff. I don't forget to check out John doing his Mech Warrior online. And don't forget to check out Kathy during her painting streams.
On her own channel.
On her own channel. Which she'll probably do in some reading this week. Other than that, guys, be safe. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you wash your hands, wear your mask, and get your shot. We want to see you at HUDCon 2022. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Kathy.
Good night. We're going to send you off to our friend Vlieger Dragon.
And look out for each other too.
Yes. Make sure you go over and check out Vlieger Dragon and give her a follow if you haven't done it already. 2, 1, raid!